Yep, so you're on the right track. This one's going to stay solid.
How did you come up with the main idea?
The school district really cares about student needs, and they listen to the staff to figure out the best ways to help the students.
Teachers truly, authentically put kids first.
You know, they can't go wrong by coming to River Falls and getting a strong education, both character-wise and educationally.
Well, the River Falls community really does support education. And there are so many ways that we need to support education, but one of them is that we have to have learning spaces for the children that support their education. We have great buildings, but just like our homes, we have to be able to keep them up. One of the challenges that I have learned as a school board member is state funding of education is such that we, even with the very careful managing of our resources that we do, we simply don't have the money to be able to take care of the roofs and to make sure that all of the infrastructure of our buildings are what they need to be without going to work for a referendum.
Right now we're looking at a $45.86 million referendum. It includes all of our schools, some improvements at all of our schools. It addresses some lingering maintenance needs that we have that obviously fall outside our annual building maintenance budgets. There's many pieces to this. The primary needs of this referendum include additional elementary classrooms due to enrollment capacity issues, flexible collaborative learning spaces, updating mechanical system and infrastructures that have surpassed their useful life and are in need of repair or replacement. And of course our aging academy building, which is too costly to repair, yet we intend to preserve some of the historical elements of that building while also continuing to have a school at that same site where the community has had a school since 1854. A second question on our referendum ballot is a $2.1 million request for a new multi-use sport field, lights, and parking behind the high school. With this artificial turf, we would increase seasonal access for youth and community sports, marching band, physical education, spring sports such as softball and baseball, and of course, more traditional use of soccer and football. We obviously have growing maintenance needs, things like roofs that we measure in acres, not in square feet. Parking lots that we measure in acres, not in square feet. But there's also inside the walls of our buildings, there are HVAC, electrical, plumbing, some aging infrastructure needs all throughout our district that need to be addressed. Additionally, from a district perspective, we have some technology infrastructure needs. I'll start at the high school. We have the need to take a look at some flexible space in our vocational tech ed department, our vocational trade area. We need to be a little more progressive in providing some space and equipment in those areas. We also at the high school have auditorium improvements specific to sound and lighting only. We have a swimming pool that has a dehumidification unit that frankly doesn't work. We need a new pool liner. There's one of two pumps that needs to be replaced, and there's some significant improvements to that pool area. And then we have a running track, indoor and outdoor running track. They both need to be resurfaced along with a tennis court. The air quality needs at the middle school. It's the only school building that we have that does not have air conditioning.
We get 32, 33 individuals in a classroom with a room that does not have air conditioning. And so within that time that we have such full classes and the temperature is what it can be end of August or in September, it gets to be very uncomfortable.
With an increase in the growing number of middle school students, the lunchroom is very crowded, causing the need for changes to our seating and overall room configuration. Our middle school library is antiquated. Modest improvements would be made to our middle school auditorium and greenhouse areas to update these spaces to today's standards. Science labs need to be improved, very, very outdated, beat up old equipment, and we need to upgrade our science labs at our middle school. And then there again, there is outdoor tennis courts. It looks like an earthquake hit. At the elementary level, our primary issue has to do with capacity issues, space needs based on enrollment. And so where we really have no room to grow at the elementaries, we need to add on a few classrooms at Greenwood, add classroom space at Rocky Branch West Side, as well as the Montessori. And in the process, we'll also add small square footage, 1,200 square feet for special education programming. And by doing that, we will free up other available classroom space and repurpose other existing classroom space that can then also be used for regular full-size classrooms. District-wide, our food service areas, food preparation, kitchen equipment, serving areas, and cafeteria space are outdated and inefficient, and upgrades would be made to these serving areas.
We have a walk-in cooler that once we get our milk, there's no room in it. And we have a really tiny dry storage.
At Westside Elementary, our 1978 portable classrooms would be removed and replaced with educationally adequate new space. Montessori currently located under the same roof as our academy building. That academy building was originally built in the 20s, then an addition in the 40s, and an addition in the 90s.
Many of the pieces of this building have become outdated and really aren't suitable for our students' learning environment. Our windows, many of our windows in the older sections of the buildings aren't functional. The electrical systems that currently support the building are out of date. We have the old screw-in fuse plugs for some of those systems. Our fire alarm system is functional, but is out of date. Several things that definitely need some updating to support our student learning at the school.
We will be retiring a significant amount of debt, which is similar for a homeowner to burning a mortgage. And so the timing of this referendum can really work to the taxpayer advantage by the fact that we're retiring debt. It will help to minimize the property tax impact of a successful referendum. So for example, right now we're looking at about $40 of new taxes per $100,000 value of your home.
We've actually been recognized by a world-renowned organization called Standards & Poor's. They actually evaluate the financial strength of companies, government organizations, and we've received one of their highest bond ratings. It's actually called a AA bond rating. So it's something we're really quite proud of. But maybe more importantly, it's how it translates to our taxpayers. With the passage successfully, hopefully, of this referendum, our taxpayers, because of this high bond rating and because of our good financial health, our low debt load, our long-range financial planning, our taxpayers are going to be probably paying lower interest rates on this borrowed debt than most any other district in the state of Wisconsin. And so that's a win, and we're pretty proud of that.
Our community has a long history of valuing education. They truly do, very supportive community. And we know that with the support of our community, there's some high expectations on our end as well. You know, we have a high-performing school district, and we want to maintain and uphold and continue to make progress with our district. We also know that we need to be sure that we have the right kind of facilities, not just for today, but also looking to the future as well.